Why did someone build a rusty pyramid on top of the hill? Here's an abridged version of the text. The photo is McPherson's safety grouse dew fountain, a simple but ingenious device of the late 19th, early 20th century for watering wild game in arid hills and wastelands. How it works: during the day, the case heats up, and at night, moisture from the air condenses on the walls of the pyramid. Drops flow into the pan, forming a natural source of water. The device works autonomously, without any connection or maintenance. Why it's interesting: it's an early example of passive moisture collection from the air. It was used by hunters to support game populations during the summer. Today, it's a rare historical artifact that holds value for nature enthusiasts and hunters. It looks like a small pyramid, but it serves a practical purpose. Why does the army put planes upside down in the middle of the forest and surround them with towers? Are they flight simulators? The photo shows one of the most unusual and little-known research complexes of the U.S. Air Force, unofficially nicknamed Upside Down Air Force, Air Force Upside Down. What is it actually? This is part of the U.S. Air Force test infrastructure located on the territory of the former Griffiss Air Base in the city of Rome, New York. The complex was used, and is probably still used, for testing and debugging of aviation electronic equipment. How it works: instead of taking the aircraft into the air and measuring them in flight, engineers place them upside down, or partially inverted, on a special platform. Tall antenna masts and emitters are positioned around them, resembling the red and white structures that can be seen from a distance. This configuration allows for accurate measurements of radiation, interference, dead zones, and the effects of external weapons and hulls, without the risk and cost of actual flights. Some models are not full-fledged aircraft. They are mock-ups of the fuselage equipped with electronics and EW systems. Why does it look so strange? An upside-down aircraft on the ground with antennas all around is, to put it mildly, an unusual sight. These installations allow for conditions that are as close to real flight as possible, but in a strictly controlled environment. Why it is interesting: this is a rare example of a stationary flying range, where flight is simulated, without lifting the car into the air. Many similar programs remain largely invisible to the general public, but play a key role in cyber defense, electronic warfare, and the accuracy of aviation systems. What does this green gun do that doesn't shoot but glows? Here's the question: if you don't know what kind of device it is, what is this strange gun with a transparent nose and a wire? A toy, a tool, or a medical device? Alternative questions: why does this thing have a wire and a trigger if it's not a drill? What does this green gun do that doesn't shoot but glows? Why does this gun have a plastic nose instead of a barrel? Is it a repair tool or something for the kitchen? All of these questions are good to hook the viewer and get their curiosity going. Why are there empty rusty cages with bait inside in the middle of the city? Are they traps, farms, or art objects? Answer: the photo shows metal cages used in the Billion Oyster Project, an environmental program aimed at restoring the oyster population in the New York City water area. These cages are not used for catching oysters, but for growing young oysters. They are placed at the bottom of the Hudson River, the East River, and other bodies of water to create artificial reefs that purify the water. One oyster can filter up to 190 liters of water per day, removing pollutants and sediment, form microenvironment, create shelters and spawning places for fish, crabs, starfish, and other organisms, contain coastal erosion. Reefs act as natural breakwaters, reducing the force of the surf, reuse waste oyster shells collected from restaurants, cleaned and populated with larvae, are often placed in the cells. The project began in 2014 and brings together ecologists, students, scientists, and volunteers. It includes school education, water monitoring, scientific research, and data collection on the state of the ecosystem. The goal of the project is to restore 1 billion oysters in New York Harbor by 2035. The metal cages are a key element. On land, they look like rusty boxes, but in water, they transform into living reefs that support entire ecosystems. My girlfriend brought this when she moved in. What is it? The photo shows a neck support device for abdominal exercises, often referred to as the neck support trainer or simply the sit-up assistant. This device is designed to reduce the strain on the neck and spine during abdominal exercises, maintain proper head positioning, helping to avoid muscle tension and technical errors, make abdominal exercises more effective and comfortable, especially for beginners or individuals with sensitive necks. Just lie down on the mat, place your head in the curved support, grab the side handles, and perform body lifts with a stable head position. This compact and simple device helps you train without neck pain or upper back fatigue. I flew over India. What are those white spots? The photo shows a neck support device for abdominal exercises, often referred to as the neck support trainer or simply the sit-up assistant. This device is designed to reduce the strain on the neck and spine during abdominal exercises, maintain proper head positioning, helping to avoid muscle tension and technical errors, make abdominal exercises more effective and comfortable, especially for beginners or individuals with sensitive necks. Just lie down on the mat, place your head in the curved support, grab the side handles, and perform body lifts with a stable head position. This compact and simple device helps you train without neck pain or upper back fatigue. What is this thing? It looks like a remote control from the future. The photo is not a phone at all, but a portable music workstation designed to create beats and tracks on the go. In particular, the photo shows a device similar to the Polyene Tracker Mini or one of the compact teenage engineering models. These devices are a synthesizer, drum machine, and sequencer in one package. They allow you to program drum parts and melodies, record and edit samples, create full-fledged music compositions without a computer. Musicians and beatmakers often use them on trips or in the subway. As in the photo, it's convenient, quiet, with headphones and inspiring. What looks like some strange old phone is actually a pocket studio where you can compose a hit between stations. Dear friends, now it's your turn. You have to guess or find information about this item. I'll give you 10 seconds to consider, and my subscribers are the smartest, so I trust you and know that you'll get it right. Why did they attach a twisted wire to the ruler? Is it some kind of antique musical instrument? The photo shows an unusual ruler with wire loops, which at first glance may seem like an element of some kind of mechanism. However, it is actually the Journaltopia writing guide, a rare tool for calligraphy and scrapbooking that was popular in the 1990s and 2000s. What it is used for: it helps you write smoothly by hand, especially in diaries, postcards, and albums. The loops create a visual line that makes it easy to align your lines. When writing letters with tails J, P, Q, G, Y, the letter goes neatly into a loop without deviating from the main text. These guides were used by handwriting enthusiasts to create beautiful and precise lettering without the need for rulers or erasing pencil lines. Today, they are rare and considered a vintage accessory for creative endeavors. Why do many shopping malls in Britain have broken tower clocks? In Britain, many supermarkets, especially chains like Tesco Extra, are built with architectural features that resemble traditional English buildings. One of these features is a tower clock, which often looks as if it were borrowed from old town halls or market squares. These clocks are almost always stopped, and here's why. When a new supermarket was being discussed in Essex in the 1990s, the authorities demanded that the building's exterior reflect the local architectural style. The architect proposed a facade in the form of a barn roof with a clock tower, which resembled historical buildings in market squares. The concept took hold, and other developers began to copy this style en masse across the country. However, the appearance was not followed by substance. The clocks themselves were often placed only for decoration and quickly broke down. Since they do not serve a functional purpose, they are not repaired. No one perceives them as real clocks. They have become a purely decorative element, almost a theatrical setting for the consumer experience. As a result, there are dozens of supermarkets across Britain with a spectacular tower and eternally frozen hands, like a monument to architectural compromises between the old look and the new way of life. Is this a car part or part of some strange mechanism? Why are there so many holes? This huge red gear is not just a strange industrial artifact, but a key part of the vintage Vendo V83 vending machine, which was produced in the 1950s. This machine dispensed glass bottles of Coca-Cola and used an unusual mechanism for loading and dispensing bottles using a gear-based system. Here's how it worked. Inside the machine, there was a drum with hexagonal slots where bottles could be manually loaded, up to 83 bottles in total. The red circular part with holes, also known as the control disc, determined how many bottles were in the system and regulated their dispensing. It had numbered divisions, and the salesperson had to set the appropriate number before loading. And when a Coca-Cola was purchased, the gear rotated, and a bottle would fall out of one of the layers, chilled and neat. And the device was entirely mechanical, and the magic was achieved through the precise calibration of this giant gear. An interesting fact, such machines were not just a machine, they were an icon of post-war America, and now such parts are the object of hunting of collectors of retro technology. It's not just a gear. It's a wheel that turned American culture. Is it the uniform of some secret organization, or just a fancy dress with a deep meaning? What kind of thing is it? This is not just a decorative ribbon, it is an element of the ceremonial attire of a member of the International Order of Odd Fellows, a fraternity founded in the 18th century on the principles of assistance, charity, and personal development. This ribbon, known as the ceremonial collar, is worn around the shoulders. Its symbolism, featuring stars, hands, and flowers, indicates the rank or position within the order. The color and patterns may vary depending on the lodge or country. Historically, Odd Fellows have been involved in the establishment of schools, hospitals, and orphanages. Their ceremonies resemble those of Freemasons, with initiations, regalia, and secret symbolism. In old photographs, members of the order are often seen wearing these ribbons, which symbolize their status and loyalty to tradition. This item is not just a decoration, but a gateway to a world of brotherhood, rituals, and centuries-old symbolism. Dear friends, there are many videos on this topic on my channel. Subscribe and like to know when the videos are released. We were walking in the park with our family and came across this art object. Can you tell us what it might mean? The photo shows an environmental photo station from Yellow Banks Park, Weston, Wisconsin. This is part of an educational nature observation project. Visitors place their phones on the station, take photos of the area, and upload them to the website. By taking photos from the same locations at different times, visitors can track seasonal and long-term changes in the environment, such as plant growth, erosion, and other processes. This project encourages visitors to engage in nature observation and fosters environmental awareness. Why are these objects always used in large quantities and in water, and what is the reason for this? The photo shows not seashells or designer chips, but so-called Z-carriers, special plastic carriers used in wastewater treatment systems. These curved pieces are covered with a lattice structure, on which a biofilm forms, a colony of beneficial microorganisms. It is they who eat pollution, effectively purifying water from organic waste. The shape and structure of the carriers are not accidental. When rotating in the reactor, they clean off excess film, maintaining its optimal thickness. This is necessary for stable operation and long-term efficiency. Such media are used in MBBR systems, moving bed biofilm reactor, which are modern, compact, and highly efficient water treatment technologies. This item on the beach may have been misleading, but it is actually part of a complex engineering system that provides clean water to cities and businesses. Why did they put leather L's next to the armchair in old mansions? This strange leather, upholstered object, resembling half of the seat from an antique armchair, is actually a footrest known as the gout stool, translated as gout stool. Historical context: in the 18th and 19th centuries, gout was considered a disease of the nobility. It affected mainly elderly men who lead a sedentary lifestyle and indulge in food and wine. The disease was accompanied by acute pain in the joints, especially in the legs. It was then that special furniture devices were invented, stands that fix the leg at an angle to reduce swelling and pain. Design: the angled shape allows for a comfortable position of the elevated leg. The soft leather padding reduces pressure and makes use comfortable. And the handle on top makes it easy to carry, often used in living rooms, smoking rooms, and clubs. And there are both simple wooden versions and luxurious leather upholstered versions with studs and decorations. Modern application: although today gout is treated differently, such supports can be useful again, for recovery after leg injuries, for the elderly with circulatory disorders, for a comfortable rest in a chair after a long day. And yes, this item can indeed resemble a seat from an old train, especially in its shape and finish, but there is much more history than it seems at first glance. Is it part of something, or does it do something on its own? This item is a belt-type clamp for pipe coupling and positioning. It is also known as a pipe puller, pipe clamp, or pipe alignment tool. What it is It is a mechanical tool designed to align and hold two pipe sections together during connection, especially in tight spaces such as underground installations. How it works: the tool wraps around the pipe and is secured using a toothed belt or segments. The handles on both sides allow you to pull, adjust, and hold the position of the pipe. The strong clamp ensures that both sections are aligned on the axis, allowing for safe welding, gluing, or crimping of the connection, usually with a coupling. It is used for repairing, laying, and installing sewerage, water supply, and drainage pipes. Why do you need it? To avoid displacement of the pipes during installation, or to simplify work in pits and trenches, or to ensure the accuracy and tightness of the connection. Where it is used: water and sewage services, gas companies, construction and repair teams. This is a professional installation tool used by pipe fitters around the world. Thank you for watching. Write in the comments which items are unclear to you, and I will be happy to explain them. Please like and subscribe to the channel.